right, Miss Aurorah is back, secured entrepreneurs. In this video, Miss Aurorah is going to answer one of the questions that came in via email. I want to thank you for emailing. Please continue to do so at info@aurorahdayconsulting.com. Now, this email comes from a brand spanking new secured entrepreneur. Okay. And she emails, Miss Aurorah, what is with this coast? What is this coast? And people are asking me if I'm coasting, and how is it that I'm going to utilize some of these methods in coasting within the wealth cycle that we created? I said, oh man, this is such a great question, and I'm going to answer it in the video because all of these secured entrepreneurs need to really understand what the coasting method is and how it is they're going to be able to effectively participate in it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is tell you all what the coasting method is, break it down for the entrepreneurs in their 30s, the entrepreneurs in their 40s, as well as the entrepreneurs in their 50s. All right, can we do it? All right, so for those of you who do not know who I am Miss Aurorah Dey, and this is the Secured Entrepreneur Movement. All right, now, secured entrepreneurs, what we're talking about here is coast financial independence. This is a strategy where individuals will no longer have to contribute to their investment accounts or their savings accounts to reach their financial independence. They have allowed these accounts to grow over time, leveraging the power of compound interest. Okay, so the first thing that any entrepreneur would need to do if you want to begin to coast towards financial independence, because that's what this is, you have to come up with your financial independence number. What is that number for you? Now, you would have to take into consideration not only your living expenses and your lifestyle today, but at a future date. So for example, many people have utilized this whole coasting method so that at a future date, they don't have to depend on maybe Social Security, outside resources like going to a job, even retirement from a job, because they have done all of the investing. So whatever else is coming would really be additional, would be extra, right? So they may say, I definitely don't want to have to depend on any outsourced method to get money, to bring in money when I reach 35 or when I reach 40 or when I reach 50. Okay, so that's what's going on here. Now, for the entrepreneurs who are in their 30s, we're talking between the age of 30 and 40, because that's what we're talking to here, entrepreneurs, okay? So if you are a secured entrepreneur, Ms. Aurorah has already taught you how to bring in those profits tax-free, right? So between 30 and 40, you have got to make some very aggressive investments. You're going to have to invest aggressively to the point where you are willing and able to begin to invest between 15 and 20% of your profits. Okay. Some people are going to go way overboard simply because their lifestyle habits and expenses are fairly low now. So if they're bringing in substantial profits now, they really are already living below their means, because they understand that in 10 years, maybe they have small children now, or they're not married now, but they do have a plan to have a spouse. They do have a plan to have a family, or they know they need to adopt, or they have bigger plans as it relates to their business. All right. They know that maybe it's a 10-year plan. So within these 10 years, I'm going to now invest between 15 and 20% of my profits strategically. So that means that in this portfolio, yes, I'm choosing dividend stocks. Yes, I'm doing bonds. I may be doing some real estate, but I'm choosing the investments that are actually going to bring in the highest interest rate. Okay, because at any time in between these 10 years, I may have an emergency. I may have to go to another country for something. There may be another world situation and I have to go somewhere. I have to take care of a family member, things like that. So when we talk about coming up with your financial independence number, you want to take all of these things into consideration. Also, between the ages of 30 and 40, again, you want to willfully live below your means. So that means that maybe you don't have, some of these streaming memberships. Maybe you're not paying every month to stream things. Maybe you're making coffee at home. Maybe, like some people they have given up automobiles. Okay, they say, you know what, this insurance payment that really doesn't do too much for me on the immediate. Maybe I don't need this. Maybe this $300, $400 a month on top of this $500, $600, almost $1,000 car payment is not helping me. I would rather put that money into the portfolio, start seeing some returns come in, okay, and do other things that I really desire to do with my life, in my business, for other people, things like that, okay? These are the things that you can do between age 30 and 40. And then also for the married entrepreneurs, now you got double the investments, because if you've got two people actually working this business together, or maybe the two people are doing two different businesses, but they align, so the monies are coming in, you can make a dual decision as to, well, maybe we want to invest 40%, because maybe there's some things that we really don't need to do all the time. Maybe we're going to take one vacation a year instead of 3. Okay, maybe we're going to start doing local weekends where we have date nights on the weekends and go to someplace fancy, and maybe we only spend $300 that night, because we all know that if you're doing anything in a particular place, two people, the dinner with drinks, even a show, you're talking almost $500. These ticket prices are outrageous. If you go to one of these 5-star dining places, you're paying almost $80 a plate. I mean, so let's we have to be realistic about the financial independence number. But I'm just giving the secured entrepreneurs some things to think about as you're beginning your way to coasting to financial independence, right? So that's ages 30 to 40. Now, if you're 40 to 50, this gets a little tricky, only because if you've already approached, or if you're already in the 40s, more approaching 50, and you have not started any type of portfolio, you have not done any type of investing, you don't have any assets, any income producing assets, you've got to double time it. So the efforts that you should have and probably would have been putting in between the ages of 30 and 40, now between the ages of 40 and 50, you've got to do more than 20%. We're talking your investments need to look more between 30 to 40%, only because now you're aging. Now you're in a bracket where maybe your children are older. Some people believe in college, so they're putting their children through college, or they're putting their children in some type of program where they can get some skills. Or they're making investments in, family members, things like that. And they are also considering, health. Now, one of the things, and I'm also suggesting this for the ages between 30 and 40. But seriously, between 40 and 50, you need to be investing in your health saving account situations, HSAs, okay? I always want to say HSN. That goes to show you where I'm spending time, right? But your health savings account. Now we love that here in the Secured Entrepreneur Movement. And we have several secured entrepreneurs who rave about their accounts simply because you get to invest pre-tax dollars, you get to earn tax-free, and you get to withdraw tax-free. People are loving it. So even if between the ages of 30 and 40, some of the investments, yes, please, HSA, please. 40 to 50, definitely HSA, because you don't know what other medical expenses you're going to have that your medical benefits will not cover. Okay. And then we know that a lot of people, both men and women between the ages of 40 and 50, love to have, what do they call it? Elective surgery, like plastic surgery, things that your medical insurance is not going to cover. Okay. You've got your HSA account. Okay. Health savings account, HSA, people. Okay. I'll put it on the screen because I know that some individuals, when we talk about some of their plans as it relates to their estate planning, we talk about some of these investments, and a lot of people say, they've never heard of these particular things. So we want to make sure that we're always in the know about what is available to us, what we can do. Ms. Aurorah just started a small policy only because I'm faking the funk. I haven't really accepted my age, even though, I'm having a problem with Father Time. Okay. We've been having some heated fellowship, Father Time and I, so I have been a little in denial myself. So I'm going to admit that to the secured entrepreneurs. And I know that I need to really invest more in that because, I am getting up there. Heck, my dog is old, for crying in the rain. Like there's things that Miss Aurorah needs right now. And I'm kind of like, right? So please, everything that is available to us as tax-free now, because we want to take advantage of all the real benefits, okay, as secured entrepreneurs, let's get on it. All right. If you are in your 50s already, in your 50s, you should already be in asset preservation mode. You should already be in asset preservation mode. Now, we have a lot of senior secured entrepreneurs. I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there right now. We have a lot of 55 plus secured entrepreneurs, and many of them that come on board are very grateful because they've been like a mom and pop business owner for 20 plus years, and they have shied away from the quote unquote traditional medical insurance plans because the payments are rather high. All right. So they needed to put some things in place to protect some things. Why? Because we all know that sometimes the younger generations don't want anything to do with the business that their parents are actually in. If it doesn't seem glamorous, okay, if it's not all, ponies and lilies, they don't really want it. They don't really want to do the labor. They don't want to come and open a store. They don't want to come and cater to local people. Like, that's not what they want to do. And so a lot of these entrepreneurs understand that they've worked hard. They've put their children through school. Like, this is how they really created their family. This is how they took people on vacation. Okay. This is how they took care of parents and they have the pride in the business, but the children and the grandchildren really do not. And many of them have young grandchildren, elementary school age grandchildren, and they already know that life is different. Generations are different. So they are in asset preservation mode. And because this was just a one location type of business, not a franchise, anything like that, they never really had the opportunity to build an investment portfolio or any type of savings portfolio that was assisting them tax-free. Okay, so we have to discuss these things. So what's happening now is, if that's your situation, if you're between the ages of 50 and 60, you never really worked a job where you earned a six-figure salary, okay, and you never really had a 401k, you never had access to things that were going to assist you later on, you have got to now create not only a plan to coast maybe in 10 years, okay, but now you're really in the wealth cycle phase where you have to have your trust in place. And we're talking your management trust, your living trust, okay? You have to have your power of attorneys in place. All right. You have to know exactly what's going to be going on. Do you want this business sold? Will the business be sold? Okay. What's going to happen to the assets of the business? Okay. if in fact you're handing it down to a child or a grandchild, what do they need? What needs to be protected in this business so that it can continue to run? Not only that, what type of investments do you really need to make right now at this age to assure that the business can stay open? Is the business really ready if it needs a cash injection? Now, a lot of these senior secured entrepreneurs came on board due to the I don't know if we can say that on social media. I'm not sure, but the thing that happened in the world, okay. And so this is when the rubber really met the road. And that's when the light bulb came on, like, wow, we've been sitting up here doing this thing this way for years. And now we need to apply for all these things. We had to get documents together. I mean, it was a real dog and pony show. It really, really was, to get a lot of these people together to even apply for a loan. And then there you had whole lot of fraudulent people who created things that never existed, and they were able to get way more money than the average mom and pop business owner. It was, but I'm going to say too that a lot of the documentation that was needed just wasn't there to even apply. So that's another issue, which is why we do what we do here in the Secured Entrepreneur Movement. We make sure that your business is set up correctly from the beginning so that if in fact you are in need of a cash injection, you have the ability to make that happen. Okay. So if you're in the ages of 50 and 60 and you know it's time to start coasting, like you want to coast today, okay, you have to triple time it. All right. So you'll have to pick the investments that actually mean something to you. Like at this stage, it's not just, oh, I'm gonna pick this one, or y'all know that Miss Aurorah does the ladder, because I shared that previously, that I do the ladder. So I make sure that the things that we invest in over here, there's a payout every month from several of these companies. So we make sure that January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December, there are payments plural. Okay. So you're going to have to be laser focused on and strategic as to how now you begin to build this investment portfolio, because we know that just having a savings, especially at this stage of the game, there's really no interest in it. So you would have to really find the money market accounts that are offering the highest APY out there. All right. You would really have to begin to invest in things that produce a lot of income. Okay. That have a very high interest rate, period, because you can't even give yourself the full 10 years. Like you got to pick 5 years and hit it hard. So maybe you're investing 30 to 40%, 40 to 50% of your profits into this so that in 5 years you can begin to coast. And if need be, if you need to add some additional things to bring money in, it won't be that bad. It won't be that bad because you already know that your coasting plan is in place. All you're going to do is pull down some dividends, okay, to make that thing all right. So that's really what coasting, the Coast Financial Independence method is all about. Creating a financial environment that you already know you're not touching. You're gonna let those investments sit, and you're going to utilize all of it at the time in which you believe is best for you to be independent, to be financially independent. Okay, so all right, your number is 5 million. So now you start your plan with, all right, what does this pay out? How much does this pay out? How much time do I have to put in here? What do I need? If my coasting number is 5 million, if my coasting number is 10 million, okay, that's how you're going to start this whole thing. What are the investments that I need to make over how much time to get to my financial independence number? So we all have to be realistic as it relates to the type of income that we have now and the percentage of the profits that we can actually begin to invest to get to our financial independence number. So Miss Aurorah wants you to do something. I want you to go to either aurorahdayconsulting.com or securedentrepreneur.com. All right, that's why we had to revamp the sole proprietor to CEO program, because we have too many secured entrepreneurs coming on board that just really did not have anything together. Because, and I started like this in the beginning as well. I just know I need to be in business. I just know that going to a job is not the move. Okay. Going to somebody's job was not bringing sexy back at all. And it's stressing the life out of me. And it doesn't work for me. It just doesn't work for me. Okay. And a lot of you feel that way and have gone through that. But you didn't have the mentorship. You didn't have all of the information, and you made a lot of mistakes. And everybody knows Miss Aurorah made some big mistakes. Okay. Suffered for a long period of time because of those mistakes. All right. And it's a daggone shame when you're working independently, you're working by yourself, for yourself, and you don't have a team of knowledgeable individuals to tell you, okay, no, that is not how that thing is supposed to go down. And unfortunately, we've got too many people here on the internet with a whole lot of, opposing and posting up for the gram and all this stuff, and they're really not steering you in the right direction. So we want to clean that up. Take a look at the sole proprietor CEO program. So you already know Ms. Aurorah is going to set you up with the correct anonymous limited liability companies, the correct private trusts. We're going to make sure that you have the business credit that you need. We're going to make sure that you qualify for business performance loans and things like that, because many of you have these projects that you definitely do need a few $1 million. This is not, you can't, $500,000 is not going to cut it for a lot of the projects that you all are trying to really come out here and create to better humanity. You do need $3, $4, $5, $6 million to get some of these things jumped off, and that's just the reality of it. So Ms. Aurorah is going to assist you in getting prepared to qualify for those things in the sole proprietor to CEO program. All right. So also trust basics. If you know that it's time for you to start creating these things for yourself and your family, please go down the links below and click the link for the trust basics course. And you will also have the opportunity to get on a call with Ms. Aurorah so we can start talking about what your plan really should look like and what it is you're trying to do. All right. So that's what Ms. Aurorah wants to share in this video. You all know you can find me, Ms. Aurorah Dey, at AurorahDayConsulting.com. And until next time, ta-ta.